So how do you think, like early on in the year, they will balance the pressure that's already building nationally and amongst fans that aren't in it every day like us? Because there already is pressure to see Jaxson Dart sooner rather than later when they have built an infrastructure where that doesn't need to happen. And also, their best friend right now is the unknown of Jaxson Dart, them being
Correct.
Joe Shane and Brian Dable.
Yeah, that you took the words out of my mouth. So two things. One, I also am struck by this. You know when they put him in for that one play the other day?
Yeah, why? Did you ever get clarification on? Was it helmet or anything?
No, the reason Dayball said and Dart said they were on the same page. Now, we see people craft stories, right? Jeff McNeil and Francisco Lindor were supposedly like chasing a raccoon in the Mets dugout one year, right? So like we see people craft stories that don't make sense, but they say the reason was he wants him to be ready for anything. Like you never know when you're going to need to be in. Like you said, a helmet could pop off, whatever. So they wanted Dart to just, hey, go in. We need you for a play. See how he reacted to that. Actually, kind of makes sense to me. I actually kind of like it. I think Dable doesn't usually tell you what he's thinking. He did there. It was a good reason to, because I was like, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. That's smart planning by Brian Dable. But anyway, I say all that to say this, and this is the first of my 2 points. I wonder if we're going to see, you know how in college, Justin, you see quarterbacks like rotate series or like somebody come in for a couple plays. I wonder if you're going to get Jaxson Dart in doses. Like maybe they use him almost like Taysom Hill comes in doses for the Saints. Like I wonder if there's a Jaxson Dart package to ease him in, or a Jaxson Dart series, or a Jaxson Dart red zone play. I wonder if that, because they've done that in practice too, where they've had Jameis Winston drive the field with the twos, and then Jaxson Dart comes in the red zone. So, like, I wonder if there's something to do there. We don't know that yet. Dable probably won't tell us that, but I wouldn't rule out that, like, just because he doesn't start week 1 or week 2, he plays 0 snaps in those games. I'm not ready to say that. And then my second point was gonna be something I seem to have lost my something I seem to have lost my train of thought on, which is um remind me what were that was remind me what you asked me because that was my first.
Yeah, basically, like they're they have an infrastructure built where Dart doesn't need to be put out there week one.
Yeah.
But the pressure is already now.
Oh, yes, thank you. How will they handle that? My point is this. You're right. You took the words out of my mouth. The unknown of Jaxson Dart is their best friend. That said, uh Jaxson Dart playing well is like their BFF forever. Like so they won't be able to. There's a catch 22 with how well Dart's played in this preseason. Like if he looked a little lost or a little behind, there wouldn't be that much pressure. He's looked so good against these vanilla defenses. They're not going to be able to quiet the noise. Somebody's going to fly a banner over the stadium if they're 0-3 that says put Jaxson Dart in the game, right? You're not going to be able to squat. The back page of the post is going to be Dart time.
Mhm.
So like, you know what I mean? So like it's they're not going to have a choice really but to put him down or they're going to become wildly unpopular. So uh I don't necessarily think that they have to hold him out to save their jobs because I probably said this to you before. I say this a lot. Like I don't think John Mara wants to start over with a second year quarterback. Like he is convinced in his mind, I'm pretty sure I know this, that where things went wrong for Daniel Jones is when they started changing quarterback coaches, coordinators, head coaches. Like there's a big what if to Daniel Jones of like, what if he stayed in Pat Shermer's offense?
Yep.
Maybe he wasn't the head coach. Maybe Mike Shula stayed as offensive coordinator, whatever. Like there's a big what if to if he stayed in that offense. So like you're going to fire Shane and Dable and you're going to bring in a GM and a coach who say, we had Jaxson Dart as a 6th round prospect. We don't want him anymore. Like, we need our guy. So, like, I really don't think that they're in as much trouble as other people think they are. Like, yeah, they can't win 2 games, but the talent on this team is too good to win 2 games. So if they win 6 or 7 games, I really don't think it matters. I think they'll be here with Dart in 2026. I don't think the unknown is as important as I would have thought before training camp started.
Yeah, because like I said, it's the ultimate balancing act of I think they're not only dealing with They got to win more, right? I mean, that's just flat out. And I think
But
John
I think they
Kirby,
will because the talent's good. Like I was on with you last year, Justin. I told you the team stunk.
yeah,
Like I knew in May the team was going to be bad. Like I think I picked 4 wins and somehow went over. Like they didn't have enough talent, they didn't have enough leadership. They somehow didn't see it. I could see it clear as day. I know other people could see it clear as day. Um, they didn't know what they had last year. I think the talent on the team is good enough that they're not going to, they might just be like a regular losing team instead of last year when they were a train wreck losing team. Like they just might win 6-11, which
yeah,
happens in the NFL. And it's not like a struggle to get first downs and you're playing with no kicker and stuff like they were doing last year.
yeah. Which I mean, average. I've talked about it all off season. Where I want 2025 to be about average feeling so damn good, where
Yeah.
you don't need to be bottom three in points. You don't need to be bottom three in
Yes.
yards or explosive plays. You could be 20th and watch what happens. Like watch how good
Yeah.
20th is going to feel, 18th is going
Correct.
to feel, and that's
The
what I
bar
think
is
this
on the
year is about.
ground. The bar is on the ground. So
Yeah,
they should be able to, like, people keep saying the Giants offensive line isn't going to be better than average. And I keep saying, like, when was the last time the Giants offensive line was average?
yeah,
Like, it's been 15 years since they had an average offensive line. Let's see what that looks like.
yeah, for sure.